Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast.
You don't even have an opening joke recorded yet.
We just open up with me eating.
I couldn't hear it.
Wow. It's very crunch.
Wow, you munched like not loud at all.
Really?
Yeah. It's surprising. I'd expect you to be like a sloppy eater. Like a thanks.
Thanks. I mean, sometimes it feels like I'm loud. It might just be like overall childhood paranoia.
Probably.
Like that's one of those things that you're nervous about when you're younger. You're like, oh, I need to be self-conscious about how I'm eating. And then you just do it forever.
Well, yeah, I would
It usually
believe
just
that with
depends
your childhood record.
on what you're eating. I'm not saying you in particular. It's just on what is being eaten.
I mean,
Like-
me guzzling down some hot dogs is pretty sloppy.
I hate
Just saying.
the sound of people crunching, and I drive myself crazy when I'm crunching. So
That's what I was
You
saying.
play
was
music, don't you? When you're eating food.
no.
You don't?
I do.
I mean, not intentionally like that.
I can ignore everything except for things that are touching my skin. Like
There is actually a condition. I don't remember what it's called. There's like a very specific mental thing, and for some people's brains, like it triggers like violent responses depending on certain types of
Yep.
mouth noises, more than just everybody being like, okay, could you not eat like a sloppy bitch? Like some
Yeah.
people, like when you're a kid, because it doesn't usually get diagnosed until it's a pretty recent discovery. It's like, oh, the kid's being weird because their parents are eating sloppy. Where it's like that
Emma was
one
like
noise
that.
of like spaghetti or like one thing will like actually trigger their brain. It's
Mhm.
really weird.
oh, so like just a
When,
noise in general, or
It
like
depends. Everybody's
okay,
different. It could
'cause-
be some types of noise. It could be a crunching thing. It could be
So-
like
so. Let's
Like-
listen here.
Like Mary having to sing for the fill-in king in Gondor.
ooh,
That scene triggers me.
ooh.
Okay, but so hear me out. You know those Lego pieces,
Yeah.
right? They're kind of like slanted, like a right angle triangle.
Mhm.
Okay, and it's got like it's a 1x2 on the top, but it's a 2x4 on the bottom.
Yeah.
Or a 2x2. I mean, 2x2 on the bottom, and the slant is textured. And if you run your fingernails on
Yeah.
it, I hate
Yeah,
that
yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
That gives me like goosebumps.
Why buy a comic that might cost more than a dime? Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time. I just got not much to say because I don't feel well.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm not kissing you to make it better.
I'll kiss you.
Whoa. Welcome back
Uh,
to the Dime Comic Bros podcast. All three of us are straight. We swear.
Well, Spencer, you're speaking for us, but I don't know about you.
I said we. I meant the collective. I
Mm,
meant us, comrade.
I don't know about that. But before we go any
Yes.
further,
Our sexuality.
Do we want to jump into the news?
We
let's go,
absolutely do.
Dick first.
We should introduce ourselves appropriately, though.
Oh, should we start introducing ourselves in podcasts now?
I mean, we do it like sometimes.
Right.
All right, well,
Sometimes we should
I'm-
probably have names, though.
I am your.
Should we get name tags? Because that'll
No.
work.
No, mine. Yours would say assistant.
Why do you
to the-
stare at me like that when you laugh?
'Cause
I love it, but you just like you're shitting yourself, man.
Because you're actually in front of me.
It's great.
Spencer's name tag would be assistant to the regional manager.
Oh,
Excuse me.
man.
That would actually be correct right now because I am kissing up to the regional like real hard.
You're a bunch of degenerates. Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast. I am not your host, but I am your co-host, Jacob, joined by my other co-hosts, Spencer and Colin. Hello. Oh, thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you for coming.
Oh no, I'll be coming later.
Oh, we're gonna get wet, boys.
I'm so dead.
Um,
Jumping right into the news.
Yes.
Have an article from DCComics.com. A new predator makes Gotham City its hunting ground, courtesy of Garth Ennis, co-creator of Preacher and The Boys, and artist Liam Sharp from The Green Lantern, The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman, in an all-new 6-issue limited series, Batman Reptilian. Gotham City is filled with murderous creatures who stalk the shadows, foul villains with murderous impulses who strike fear into the hearts of every man, woman, and child in the city. But what strikes fear into the hearts of those who terrorize the city? It used to be Batman, but something far more frightening than a mere man has begun stalking the shadows, and it's after Gotham's villains. How savage must a monster be to haunt the dreams of monsters? End quote. So this is a Black Label book, just to make that clear, because the article didn't actually say that. It's just on the branding. I'm pretty interested in this because the art is disgusting and slimy and gross, and I want it.
I haven't really heard anything about this, so I have no opinion.
Monsters.
Actually, monsters are pretty cool.
I'm a huge fan of Garth Ennis.
Yeah, you are.
Or Enos, mostly because of the Punisher Max run. So I think I've read a couple others that were just okay, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. See just where it goes. From DCComics.com, just in time for Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary, DC Comics proudly presents. You got to do that staircase voice when they phrase it that way.
I have more like an escalator voice.
Yes, exactly.
More like an elevating voice.
DC Comics proudly presents a new 6-issue anthology series starring the Amazon princess, embellished in the color of her famous lasso. You won't want to miss celebrating the woman who inspires us all, and that's the truth. But issue 1 launched June 22nd. I think that's supposed to be issue 1 launches June 22nd.
That is correct. And I also didn't include the title. It's Wonder Woman Black and Gold. I need to work on my editing skills.
That's all right. You do a pretty good job.
I know that Spencer is the biggest fan of Wonder Woman comics amongst the three of us. How likely are you to buy this on launch day?
Not.
He doesn't buy
Ouch.
issues.
It's pretty, like, I have bought maybe half a dozen things on launch or within their like launch window. If it's a limited anthology series, just like the Batman and Superman versions of this, I'm gonna wait until it comes out in a book, like a normal person.
I hear that.
Well, what a degenerate. Speaking of degenerates.
Might borrow it off Spencer, but yes, speaking of degenerates.
From Marvel.com, from the pages of one of Marvel's most critically acclaimed titles comes a new series, Gamma Flight, launching out of Al Ewing's Eisner. Eisner. Wow, I didn't know that's how it's spelled. Eisner nominated work on Immortal Hulk. Gamma Flight will introduce a new Marvel super team consisting of Bruce Banner's allies, friends, and even former arch nemesis, arch Nikiles, featuring artwork by Lan Medina. I don't know. From here on out, I'm not going to say names right. It's just going to be wrong. The new series will be co-written by Ewing and Crystal Frazier. Frazier will make her Marvel Comics debut in June's Marvel's Voices Pride #1, and previously served as a consultant on earlier issues of Immortal Hulk. Now she teams up with Ewing to take this fascinating, hauntingly beautiful Hulk saga to the next level. Gamma Flight had one job: find and stop the Hulk. But when push came to smash, they sided with the Green Goliath, and the human world intends to make them regret it. Puck, Absorbing Man, Titania, Doc Sasquatch, Dr. Charlene McGowan, and a horribly changed Rick Jones are fugitives from every known authority. But a team full of Gamma is bound to break before long. Go on the run with this wild Gamma-fueled group in this action-packed addition to the Immortal Hulk mythos on April 2nd. Oh, wait, that's a different one.
I'm looking forward to this one because Jacob, I believe you started reading that Hulk run at some point. Did you? Or are you just looking at it?
I did start it enough to say I'll buy the books, which I did, and they're waiting for me at home.
Nice.
It's like literally the top of the pile when I get home.
Nice. I think I got through the first like 20 or 25 issues, and I believe It was a while ago, so I don't remember exactly how far I got.
I think that's all that there is.
I'm pretty sure there's more than that. Pretty sure the primary run just ended somewhat recently, or will be, something like that. Keeping up with current stuff is a pain in the butt. I'm looking forward to this, though.
I do not care about Hulk.
I think this run you would actually really, really like. It has a lot more stuff to it than Smashing. Like, it has nothing to do with Smashing at all.
Well,
The Hulk deals with philosophy and, like, an evil door and hell.
Existence.
Yeah, it's, like, actually really, really good.
all right.
I think you'll love it.
Perhaps.
On April 2nd, legacy Star Wars content will finally be migrating to Disney Plus, including Caravan of Courage, Ewoks: The Battle for Endor, Star Wars Clone Wars Volume 1 and 2, Star Wars Ewoks Season 1 and 2, and The Story of the Faithful Wookiee. I'm mostly excited for the Clone Wars finally being put on there. This is some of the just banger Star Wars content.
Yeah, dude, that still holds up as one of my favorite Star Wars, like just media in general.
Oh yeah.
Those
Now,
cartoons are the best.
Back it up. Those were like 5-minute episodes ish, right?
The first volume was, I believe, like 10 3 to 5 minute ones. They were designed to be like commercials you could just play on TV, and then the second volume was extended.
So in total, it's like what, like almost
It's
30
about
minutes.
It's like 2 hours for both of them. It's a good amount of content.
Like the cartoon,
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Yeah,
That's not 2 hours.
both volumes collectively. Yeah.
No, it's not. Like, you're talking about the one where it ends where they're going into episode 3, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not like 2 hours.
Bro.
The other titles I do not recognize: Caravan of Courage, Ewoks: The Battle for Endor,
It's just all the Ewok shit and the
Star Wars Ewoks, and Story of the Faithful Wookiee.
That is one of the cartoon segments from the holiday special, which is hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Hey, if it's available, put it on. Total of Star Wars Clone Wars is 133 minutes. Shove it up your
Weird, bro.
So this means that Spencer is going to have to take a break from the Zach Daddy special to watch the freaking happy tale about Ewoks or something. Wookiees from the Christmas special.
Yes.
You're gonna be
I also
watching that?
meant
No. Maybe at some point, if I'm like really off my rocker, maybe, because it would be funny. I've seen it before.
Of course,
I don't have my VHS copy of the holiday special anymore, which is kind of lame, but you know,
such is life.
I meant as an opening joke to say that today is March 20th. The Snyder Cut released 2 days ago. So you can imagine how peaceful and calm and serene Spencer will be after it's basically like having your first lay. Just all the emotions and stress have been released, and he's just a happy little teddy bear right now.
bro, it's like a 4-hour orgasm. Leave me alone.
Blue skies and full bellies
And empty balls.
How many of
Look
our
at it,
listeners can say that they've had a 4-hour orgasm? All right, don't get back to us. We don't want to hear it, but I'm just saying it's unlikely.
You should probably talk to your doctor about that, unless it is related to, superheroes. Then you're good.
Pretty sure the commercials even say if it lasts more than 4 hours, you need to call a doctor.
Yeah. Probably not a bad idea.
It's advised, but you don't.
All right, this is derailed. Transitioning from that joke, theculturednerd.com says the Flash film has just gained a mother, with Spanish actor Maribel Verdú being officially cast as Barry Allen's mom, Nora Allen. If you're a Flash fan already, you know just how important a role she plays in Barry's journey to becoming the superhero we all know and love. Sadly, this news also comes with the announcement that actor Billy Crudup, who portrayed Barry's father, Henry Allen, in both Justice League and the, this says upcoming, but already released, Zack Snyder's Justice League, has dropped out of the film. To make it abundantly clear, Crudup is not being recast. The actor has a great relationship with the studio, but with production on The Flash having been delayed, his schedule unfortunately would not allow him to join in the production.
So this is good because you kind of do need Nora for the Flashpoint stuff they want to do, but also I really did like Billy Crudup, so that's kind of sad, but he's a bit less relevant.
Yeah, we don't actually need his dad for at least this type of storyline.
Yeah, you could be like, he's just in prison and stuff, and you can just leave him there.
Barry's living his life, trying to deal with other things.
I'm still hung up on the fact that they're doing Flashpoint yet again.
I'm with you on that. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's going to be a very different twist on it, just judging by the production crew and the people involved. I have a good amount of faith in, so I'm hoping that it's a bit less on the nose than what it sounds like they're leading towards.
Ben's still in this movie, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Was this all his stuff like shot already?
No. They're
Okay.
not. They're going into production shortly.
Anyway, from the HollywoodReporter.com exclusive, Kiersey Clemens has closed a deal to star opposite Ezra Miller in Warner Bros. DC movie The Flash. The actress will reprise her role as Iris West, the romantic interest of Barry Allen, aka The Flash. Woo woo woo! We like that.
Yes, there were a bunch of unsubstantiated rumors going around that she might have been getting either cut out or replaced, which would have been kind of lame. And having watched her actual performance, we're going to leave it there and say that this is cool. So that is the end of the news. Do we want to jump into the main topic?
Let's.
All right, so we are going to be talking about Wonder Woman from 2017.
Three degenerates talking about Wonder Woman.
You're the one calling us degenerates, my dude.
Everyone is.
Wonder Woman 2017 is directed by Patty Jenkins from a screenplay by Alan Heinberg, a story by Heinberg, Zack Snyder, and Jason Fuchs. I do not know how to pronounce his last name at all. Wonder Woman origin story, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman 1, yes.
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 This whole movie is mostly a yes.
It's mostly a yes.
Yes.
There's nothing really. I don't think I have any problems with it other than maybe how they present Ares, I guess.
I think that might be the big thing to get into at the end, because I think that's where we're gonna have the most amount of thoughts.
All right, yeah.
So Jacob, you got some positives to start off with.
I appreciate Poison Lady's mask or makeup or however you want to say it.
That's a very interesting point.
That's really.
I mean, it's kind of, I mean, he's fair. That's fair. It's pretty neat. So I talked about this, I think 2 months ago. I had watched it pretty recently. So the thing I enjoyed the most is how overall cohesive it is, right up until halfway through the third act, and then stuff goes a bit sideways. But like overall, there are so few. Everything fits together really nicely. It's a really tight screenplay. All of the pieces, are actually utilized. It doesn't feel bloated or disjointed. Also, minimal cringe is pretty cool. There's a few moments in it where I think just about everybody when it came out was like, oh boy, is this going to be a cringe? And then it wasn't a cringe. And then we all went, hell yeah, let's not cringe.
Hell yeah.
Like, I think what would be my favorite moment of the whole movie would, like with most people, is the no man's land scene. That could have been really, really cringe real fast, but they walked the line so perfectly where it's like, this isn't a tacked on, we're trying to appease the masses by being like, it's no man's land. That means no man, but woman. It's like, it's like
they weren't like,
but it's not because she's a woman. It's because she's Wonder Woman. There's a massive
it's so different,
right? It's like in a similar fashion. It's pretty similar to in Return of the King when you have
I was just thinking that no man can kill me,
right? Whereas it's like it is, although the way it's presented in the film doesn't give a lot more of the context. It's not because Eowyn's a woman. It's actually because Mary does all the work on that one. But that's not the point. It's not there's a loophole, and it's just because it's a woman. Like, it's the fact that the Witch King was underestimating this particular person, and it got his freaking face stabbed like a bitch. But
No.
I really like that whole, the no man's land scene is just so good. The dramatic tension, the epic walking up a ladder, just
as the cloak falls.
yeah.
So
Yes.
there should be a very quick summary of what happens in this story.
Wonder Woman is on the island of Themyscira with all of the other ladies.
The land of the ladies, the land of the lesbians.
Yes. The island of the invisible island of lesbians.
Yes.
Sounds like a really weird, like schlocky B horror movie title.
It sounds like one of your best grunge albums of the 90s.
Not bad. So she is just chilling and they're doing their thing. And then Steve Trevor, a spy, as he calls himself, for the Allies, accidentally crashes on the island, like inside the invisible barrier. She yoinks him out of that plane before he dies. Then she gets exposed to the fact that, oh, there are like dudes with dicks out there, also, war and the other less relevant things other than
Also-
it's Chris Pine.
Also, she yoinks him.
She yoinks him.
Yeah. So she basically she ditches the island and goes, hey, there's war. We must kill Ares because it's obviously Ares, the god of war, who's making all these things a thing. Because she is a sheltered little homeschool girl.
Yes.
And it's hilarious. So then she takes Chris Pine, and then I'm going to keep referring to him as Chris Pine. I'm not going to say his actual name. He's Chris Pine. Chris Pine and one woman go back to the Allies, exchange spy information. They recruit some weirdos, and then they go on a romp through the European countryside, and they do war stuff. That's usually how you end up leaving a synopsis. You go through the first 2 acts, and then you drop it at the end of the third.
And then they stop Ares.
Yes, and then
Wow.
and then they do a fight. The plane goes boom. Chris Pine dies, which is real sad.
Dead man.
Dead pretty boy. And then Wonder Woman does a I am sad now.
My little pee-pee man. He's dead. No
Yeah.
more fly pee-pee.
Big oof. And then she goes and works at the Louvre, because that's what you do when your boyfriend dies. You go work at a really expensive art museum. Pretty based.
That's based. That's red pilled.
It's the weirdest synopsis I've ever given.
I mean, it's pretty accurate. It's a simple movie.
That's I think the thing I enjoy really like a lot about it. It's very easy to follow, and just this is fun. It's fun and big and loud, but not like obnoxious and showy.
Mm-hmm.
Really quick sidebar. You were saying you would only call him Chris Pine. I watched a movie that had original Ant-Man married to Pepper Potts. And then Pepper Potts is having an affair with Aragorn. So Ant-Man hires Aragorn to kill Pepper Potts. And it was really, really weird.
I remember watching that. I cannot remember what the name is.
A Perfect Murder.
Oh,
I have
It
no idea what you're
is very, very loosely based off of Alfred Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder. I just thought my poorly worded summary would be really funny.
kind of poorly worded summaries might have been taken over a little bit by like honest trailers, but they're still pretty funny.
Right. Since you guys glossed over my first take, I guess I should come up with another one.
First take.
Yeah, Poison Lady's Mask is cool. No, I really got nothing. This movie's just fine. It plays out well until it doesn't. And then it's a little bit ridiculous, but it's not like it's a bad movie or anything because the final act falls apart. It's just fine.
How does she hold the sword? She got like buns of steel?
We've all seen that meme. That is
Yes.
actually a thing that you like can do with dresses. A dress that tight would be a very unwise choice, but you can just like actually put a sword down the back of your dress. I would know, obviously,
Of course you would.
from my fourth job.
Yes, of course.
Would that be drag queen?
Escort.
Oh,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fantastical escort.
What?
Yeah. fantasy,
That means he
dragons, dungeons, spungins.
That means he
the
dresses up
function.
like a princess and rides in on a unicorn.
I would be down to ride a unicorn.
Yeah, you ride that unicorn.
So as Jacob was alluding to, the third act, so the movie, it most of the messaging and the theming, it boils down to Diana learning that mankind is kind of shit, and man causes their own wars. They're not being mind controlled by Ares until right at the end, where Ares is like, yeah, so you know how I'm not mind controlling these people? Not at all. They're doing their own stuff, and that's cool. And they have a nice conversation. And then she kills Ares, and then the war ends, which is entirely antithetical to how the movie should be working, which was confirmed to be a studio note thing. There was a different version of the ending that didn't do that.
Oh.
She still fought Ares, but it was for like slightly different reasons. And you can still have them fight. It just needs to not be, I will destroy you, which I'm pretty sure he says like 5 times.
Yeah, probably.
And then you have the molten metal armor monstrosity. There was also a different design for that. The one we actually get to see.
Okay, so wait.
Get to see in what?
You're telling me that a project Zach Daddy had his hands on was altered by a studio?
I know, right?
I don't believe you. Get out of here. You're
That
fired.
definitely had nothing to do with Snyder himself. He was just, and he executive produced it. He had some input here and there, but yeah, I know, it's freaking crazy. Patty Jenkins has been pretty open about that being very disappointing, because it does take a very cohesive movie and just kind of piss on it right at the end, where it's a bit dumb. It's like, oh, the war's over because I defeated the bad guy, which is dumb, but still a pretty decent action set piece.
Well, I'd never expect that from Warner Bros.
Yeah, I know, right? On that note, I did something I remember when it was getting, like, the marketing was ramping up back in 2017, was being a little nervous how it would integrate with how Wonder Woman had been previously portrayed in Batman v Superman. Not entirely like in terms of tone or whatever, but like how is Patty Jenkins going to portray the Amazon's skill set and speed and precision and such, without it just being, Zach, please come direct this action sequence for me, which would be stupid and dumb, and that would never happen. And that was something I really enjoyed, was like the opening fight on the beaches of Themyscira. Like, it uses very similar techniques, but it is toned down a little bit, and it still has the same feel of, there's a bit of slow motion, we're speeding things up a little bit, but like it just looks really good, and it's less self-indulgent.
That was going to be my next point, is that especially at the end, there was a lot of slow motion shots, and that kind of bugged me. Like, through the movie, it was okay because it was just barely sprinkled in, but the final fight definitely used it too much, in my opinion.
I think that one is nigh an objective fact, because I think pretty much everybody agrees that the end battle was kind of lame.
Yes.
Something I might have mentioned previously that I really like is how all of the Amazonians were directed to rip off Gal Gadot's accent. So it made them more, to use the not so good term in a better sense, quote unquote, ethnic, like to give them a bit of a different texture, because Gal Gadot cannot drop her accent for her life. She can't do it.
Would never want her to.
No.
Same.
So they, instead of trying to beat her over the head with acting lessons and try to get her to change her voice, they said, hey, what if we had the whole island talk like this? And I think it sounds really freaking cool.
It's amazing. I'm in love with the lesbians.
You are a lesbian.
I am a lesbian. It's my kind.
We are all lesbians.
Ooh, well, I don't know.
Yes.
My girlfriend's pretty gay.
That's true.
But us three as a collective.
Yes, we
hardcore lesbians. I'll tell you that, bud.
Definitely.
Speaking of old people and American wars, how about we go to Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
That was Colin with the segue.
Oh, there you go. Oh
yeah, bitch, you like that?
Dude, I absolutely loved this episode.
It was really good.
Explain why.
I mean, there's multiple points, so I'm not just going to go on a tangent because this is a roundtable conversation. But overall, this feels like the perfect middle ground between the MCU movies and the Netflix shows in terms of character development and like character focus, as well as like strong visual improvements. It looks so much better than the movies.
Bucky's going through therapy.
Dude, I'm so down for that.
Yeah, dude,
I put a note in here and I use a phrase I never use. I said we Stan because Sebastian Stan. I never use Stan as a positive thing because it's a bad thing, but like, bruh, I'm so down for this.
It's just so good because I love. Okay, so Falcon, I'm not really too crazy about him, but like I respect the character and his part's really cool. But I really cared about Bucky more. I don't know. I just like the trauma-induced characters way more. Sue me. So,
I'll
sue you. Sue me up, baby. But him going through therapy and just having like a rugged ass therapist.
She is great.
And he's just like, okay, yeah, keep being passive aggressive. He's just like, holy mom.
Jacob, share.
I wasn't wowed.
Bruh, you're not allowed to have a contrarian take.
All right, bye.
Oh my god. I mean, I wasn't wowed either, but like, I still thought it was really good. But Jacob,
Mr. Devil's Advocate, I am memeing. Don't be such a moody bitch about it. Jeez.
I had to leave it on mute as long as possible for the joke. The opening scene was very clearly just, we need some action real quick to get people interested, which was fine. I liked it. There were some things that looked a little wonky, so I am not on board with you when you say it looks better than the movie, because there were definitely some weird effects.
I didn't mean in terms of like visual effects quality. I meant in terms of like stylistic choice, like lighting, framing, color grading type.
There wasn't anything outright offensive to me politically, because keep your politics out of my comic books. There wasn't anything like that. I could live with it all. But I'm interested to know where it's going to go. I've got some hopes of where it could go, like super spy intrigue stuff, maybe. I don't know. But the stuff with Bucky, as you guys said, was really, really good. Not so much with his therapist for me, but for just living life with the old dude that he's trying to have lunch with, and the bartender that the old dude asks out for Bucky. All that stuff was really, really good. It felt to me like they spent too much time on Falcon's family politics.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in that either.
It was good to have the background, but they took extra time on it. And it felt like that they were repeating what they had already said.
Yeah, I don't give a f about the boat.
I agree actually with Jacob on that. I do care, but I do think the balance was a little bit, I wouldn't call it like 2-1, but for a co-lead show, it did feel like the balance was a little off.
Yes.
But it might just be, it happens to be more this episode than the other ones.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more Bucky next episode.
Right.
Exactly. I am very surprised by the villainous mob, I guess I can call it, and how current it feels in the news as terrorism. So it's kind of cool to see something that could happen like any day in the news, like in a TV show. It's surprising how current it feels, I guess.
I'm very interested in that primary plot. I think that's definitely going to be the primary plot. I think that is being presented as B plot, and like with most things, I think the B plot is going to feed into the A plot.
Right. So I have a theory about it.
Same. But the thing with that I thought was really interesting, like the Flag Smasher was a singular person in the comics, or is, and I like the fact that they broke it up into like a banner. I think that's interesting, just to use the ideas present and not have it focus on one person and instead make it like an ideology. I like that. It's interesting.
Do you want to compare theories? Because mine's bigger.
Knock yourself out. I have another theory that I want to get into, which might connect to your theory. Is it Mephisto?
No.
Dude, there's an M in Spider-Man's suit. Mephisto. It's right there. Right under the spider.
Mephisto is going to happen in Loki. I called it months ago.
I can see that.
I think that the terrorist mob, whatever phrase I just coined a few minutes ago, is going to be doing their own thing and not be doing so well. And then Zemo's going to come in and be like, hey, basically Joker in Dark Knight, he's going to take over the underworld and change their mask to the Zemo mask. So everybody's wearing the stupid purple Thanos looking thing. Thanos' chin. And then that's going to be, another comparison I had was like, what is it? The Children of Batman in Dark Knight Returns?
The Sons of Batman, yeah.
Sons of Batman, thank you. So something like that.
I think you're probably onto something. That wasn't what my theory was, but that's definitely. I think he's onto something.
I would agree. I didn't even think about making any theories.
So I don't usually. At least I try not to. I mean, particularly after WandaVision goes, guys, please stop theorizing, but also theorize more because it makes us money.
That's true.
So when the most interesting scene out of the whole episode, which I gotta say, I appreciate the fact that it was a full 50 minutes. We're not getting any of this short episode stuff. It's full.
Yep.
That's nice. My favorite scene was Bucky on his date, which was so hilariously awkward. I really do like how he had like really cagey responses. That was really cool. I think she's an infiltrator from somewhere. I might just be getting the vibe. It might be entirely mistaken.
No, you have to be right. You have to be right.
I mean, it could just be like, obviously she'll be connected to something, most likely, because most things are connected in these things.
It's Marvel. Any female that talks to a superhero is most likely an agent.
You're not wrong.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
You're not wrong. Also, very definitely looking forward to seeing Sharon Carter again. But my point was, she felt like she was pressing a little much. Like it felt like a normal conversation. Like that is like just playing Battleship and drinking and stuff. And he sucks ass at Battleship, I guess. So he's losing, which makes sense. But the level, like the intoxication imbalance between the two of them and the tonality of her questions, while it seems like she was trying to give off the vibe that she was just mistakenly asking really personal questions that were triggering the fuck out of him. It just felt like she was trying to get him to reveal himself, maybe, because obviously he's trying to live under his pardon and just live incognito. What's the term I'm looking for? Just he's trying to just live his life. He's been pardoned, but like nobody knows.
Witness protection program.
I mean, he isn't, but like basically he's trying to just like he's using his name and such. He's been pardoned by the government, but he cut his hair, the beard's gone, he's hiding the arm. So like he's just trying to live as like a normal dude. He's in his old family house in Brooklyn, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
How'd you find that out?
You look at the exterior location and then it matches up with what we were shown previously.
I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
It just felt like she was trying to get him to say something. I don't know.
Say something.
She's giving me sus vibes. I don't like the fact that it's like, okay, every single romantic interest is a spy. I think that's a bit overdone, but we'll see where it goes.
But they're hot spies.
Based.
I'm okay with that.
This was a very, very, very nice, not palate cleanse, but kind of a palate cleanse after The Thing that came out the day before this. Like,
it's definitely a different genre. And I like it's not just a buddy cop show.
It's not like Psych. I hate when people make those memes about it's Psych but different.
It's clearly not supposed to be taken seriously, you twerp.
I just hate that because I don't like Psych.
Yeah, we're not friends.
Yeah, we're in a relationship. Of course, we're not friends.
That's dank.
Leave that in. It actually, as Jacob was saying, it feels like a character drama, but it does have the political intrigue angle. Like Winter Soldier, I think at most basically everybody still regards it as one of the best Marvel movies. And yes, it is a really good spy thriller, but there isn't a lot of like personal drama development stuff in it, which isn't a bad thing, but like it has a different focus. And I like how this is similar, but on a much smaller scale, at least focus wise. Obviously, it's going to still, there'll be a big blue sky beam at the end. Just wait, it'll happen.
Yep.
But at least for now, it feels small. And
I
really
hope
like that.
New Captain America gets his rocked.
Well,
I hope he gets beaten the out of.
Oh, he's going to. It's going to be great.
I'm going to go into next.
Hey.
If Colin would stop with the degrading names.
It looks like a Casey Neistat knockoff.
Looks like a freaking munchkin with ears.
You know what? You wouldn't be wrong, you elf goblin.
I like the fact that he doesn't look like he fits the uniform. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's intentional. At least the helmet looks a bit clunky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Baby man.
Now you're just projecting, baby man.
Almost intentional.
Kremlin.
But it was annoying how quickly they turned around from honoring his memory in the Smithsonian to, all right, now give it to somebody else. It's like,
bruh,
that's a little fast.
It's the United States government.
The white man? No!
What? I mean, why would you be surprised? Because they clearly would have had that in the works for a while. They were doing the Smithsonian thing for the culture points.
Right.
To have a new super soldier that fast means he would have already been in development ages before. And that's if he's not sus and he's like just a dick. If he's extra sus, then who knows how long they've been working on that.
I think he's just a tofu bar. I think it's just we have a replacement and he's gonna show up to shows and then the good guys are gonna be like, give me that, and he'll just hand it over and that'll be pretty much it.
Yeah, he just gets the shit rocked right then and there, and they're like, give me that shit.
He's
He's
like,
like,
okay. We will definitely find out.
I'm gonna throw up.
I could see it go either way. I could definitely see it turn into they're only using him for show, or he ends up being involved in what's going to basically be a conspiracy, to use the term correctly.
Or Hydra back again.
He's a Skrull.
Please no.
Yeah. I hate seeing scrolls.
I think I like Skrulls, and I'm glad that they're going to use them, but I think the fact that everybody's like, oh my god, secret invasion, it's so annoying because that's been a thing for like it's like when everybody's like, is this how they're going to introduce the X-Men? Like, shut the fuck up for 5 minutes and just enjoy what we have. Could you just not?
Could you stop with the X-Men for 5 minutes?
Yeah. But I was thinking, because the U.S. agent, the new Captain America in the comics, is kind of an anti-hero. He's back and forth. So what if they do just have it be somewhat what they did in the comics? Be like, yeah, by the end he comes around, they can join forces and punch the bad guys and stuff. I don't know. I could see it going in all the directions.
And with that, I will talk
gay.
about a different direction. This week, I watched Constantine, the 2005 movie starring Keanu Reeves and Rachel Weisz and a bunch of other people, including Shia LaBeouf, or however the frick you say his name.
Still don't
and
know.
Also Peter Stormare, who played a very interesting take on Lucifer.
Oh, I love that.
He got his feet out.
Yeah, dude, that was
also
sick.
Tilda Swinton. And my point is, I am surprised at how much star power was in this movie. I watched it a very, very long time ago, probably pretty close to when it came out, and had no idea about comics then and was not wowed at all. But having gone back, I was pretty wowed. This was much better than I remembered it. The effects held up very well. Granted, that could be, I watched it on a DVD back in the day, and this probably was like HD or 4K streaming or something, because maths. But
goddamn pixels.
yeah. But yeah, I was really surprised by how well the effects held up, and the story made a lot more sense this time because I was paying attention and knew what the character was supposed to be like. And Shia LaBeouf's character did not annoy me as almost any other character he plays, which has Spencer celebrating because we had this argument when I started the movie because I was like, I hate this guy. But no, he did really, really well with his character.
He
How
was
can you not
kind
like
of
the cannibal man?
what?
Have you not seen the memes where he's like a cannibal?
That vaguely rings a bell. Yeah, Shia was actually pretty good as a child actor.
Yep.
Kind of got worse as he got older, and then he had some really good performances right at the end of his career. And now his career is over because, assaulting women doesn't kind of fly.
Did he?
Yes,
I didn't hear
he's
about
going.
that.
It's pretty big. He's going into rehab and therapy, like openly. He's like, yeah, no, that was bad. I'm paying up for that, which is good.
But yeah, Constantine was a lot better than I remembered it.
Nice.
Wow.
I thought you were going to talk about the show. I mean, I love the movie, but like the show is what got me into Constantine.
Well, maybe you should watch this show and then come and talk about it if you want to talk about the show so much.
Oh, I should.
You should.
But
Maybe
I
you should
also
do it
want to read
yourself.
my comics of Constantine, which I should probably get back to.
Speaking of, what have you done this week?
Okay, so in our group chat, I talked about how I watched an anime that I would tell no one. I don't advise people to watch if they are of the faint heart.
This I remember.
But it intrigued me so much that I bought the first manga. And it's one of the most popular ones at the moment, and it's known as Berserk. And it's still a running manga, and it has been since like maybe early 90s.
Still some dummy thick books.
Yeah, they're huge.
Like, those are the normal
halfway
size
through.
books, and they're huge.
Yeah, I'm halfway through.
Nice.
So I watched the trilogy, and instead of talking about movie by movie, I'm going to talk just as a whole. They actually ran very smooth, and they're actually very consistent. So this is kind of like a remake of the one made in the 90s, but what caught my eye was just how otherworldly it felt. Like, of course, fantasy and medieval times are already a sense otherworldly, but how they took it was a lot darker and a lot more supernatural than most. I have a hard time talking about things I've watched because I don't want to really spoil them for people, but I do advise Spencer. I think you should watch it. I feel like you would enjoy the medieval aspect of it, but it has this like, it's not the sense of me enjoying it because of the psychological aspect or like a deeper meaning aspect. The horror was what got me, because when it was horror, it was horror. Like, I was like disgusted, and I had to pause at times and like not watch it. There's a point where I was going to watch it at Abby's, and then we started, and then you could see a titty, and Abby's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I swear it's not hentai. I swear." But the horror aspect, it really is a horror. And we always have these movies and these things that like call themselves horror, but they're like thriller, or they're like just like these stupid ass dramas. But this Berserk, this trilogy, brings emotion and brings life to the characters. Like, you're actually attached to them. Like, you see someone as a dick, but then they become better, and it's a slow decay into madness and sorrow, leaving you wanting more, because there's no good ending to this, and you just have to like read the manga, because this movie is like a prequel to the beginning of the manga.
What is it with anime and manga franchises and like not having clean lines between their forms of media? I don't get it.
So
I wasn't actually looking for an explanation. I was just looking to bitch about it because it's weird.
I like giving explanations. It's mainly because just studios. It's always studios. It's just studios not wanting to pick up something, refusing to. Like, Attack on Titan had the same studio for 3 years, but then they dropped them. We were going to get a 4th season, but then MAPPA took it, and they're like, "Yeah, we're only doing so many." So fans just get screwed over all the time in the manga
that is
world.
the job of being a fan, is to get over by companies.
Yes, but
Don't lie to us, Colin. You said, I swear it's not hentai again.
It's not hentai, I swear.
I swear it's not hentai this time. I know last time you told me never to watch it again, but I swear
it's not hentai, but it's pretty close sometimes. It just catches you in the feels, and then you have to go watch some like happy high school anime.
Or just go watch cat videos.
Those don't. Or just watch the Lorax.
No. I think your time is over.
Yes.
So going back to something that Jacob talked about recently, I read Marvels, written by Kurt Busiek and illustrated by Alex Ross. It's a 4-issue miniseries. I borrowed Jacob's copy. It's almost as tall as Colin.
Thank you. It is not.
It's pretty.
it most certainly is.
Okay. It's 2 feet. I got 2 feet on it.
No.
I have 2 feet on it.
If you stand on it.
Shut the up.
About 1993. So I am basically going to echo everything Jacob said. I think Alex Ross's art, when he is given the right story to work with, something like this, where it is focusing on the like sheer magnitude and magnificence at the majesty, if you will, of characters, the way he paints different textures and like textiles, like the differences between clothes and metal and like concrete, is absolutely insanely gorgeous.
Would you say it's magnetic?
I would say it's marvelous. So I think the art is like perfect for what this book needs. I do think it is a bit too light on story and plot. Not that what it has is bad, but I think it is definitely a Alex, please go do your thing. Here's a bare bones story to work off of. I think it's a good story. It's just nothing really that crazy. I think it's good for someone like Jacob, who usually avoids certain topics and areas and subgenres of comics. So it's a good
Like porn?
I was implying political commentary.
Oh,
X-Men.
okay.
I think it's a good way to kind of get your foot in the door. Really can't say it's any less heavy-handed because it's not subtle at all. It's not supposed to be, but it's a very shiny version of it. So you can look as far into it as you want. I really liked it.
Imagine if Alex Ross drew Maleficent.
Oh, that would be kind of mommy, if you will.
I think I'm going to reread this book somewhat frequently. I'm probably not going to read it. I'm going to look at the pretty pictures. This is I want to get the smaller version of it. It's a really good coffee table book. Like it's comparable to like having like an art book of like a video game or a movie to just like put on your coffee table to flip through and make conversations out of.
How many Halo art books do you have?
I don't actually have any. I'm
Yet.
gonna get all of them.
I'm ordering the Mike Mignola's quarantine sketchbook.
Yes.
It's a hardcover too,
Oh,
so that'll match with my
there's a
Hellboy.
copy of it at Jetpack right now. It's so nice.
What there is?
Yeah.
I'll go there instead.
Yes.
Colin will be right back.
Yes.
Just hear.
Yeah.
My light ass feet.
Just
For my
slam.
fat ass.
Guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back. So Jacob, what else have you been up to?
Oh, I read this little book. It came out last year. Something about 3 Jokers.
Oh, we're finally going to talk about it a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
Written by Jeff Johns and artwork by Jason Fabok and Brad Anderson.
Can you agree with the standpoint I had when I read it that it's really hard to talk about?
Basically the whole thing is spoilers.
Yes.
Spoilers the book.
Damn.
You cannot talk about it without Spoilers.
So this is just like a one book, right? It's not like 3 books. Or...
It was
3 issues.
Yeah, but it's one book.
And that's at Jetpack as one book, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will be getting both of those then.
You cannot even talk about the story in any kind of summary because you don't want to spoil 3 Jokers. Are there 3 Jokers? Is it just one Joker? Is it 300 Jokers? Who knows?
Imagine 300, but they're all Jokers. I would watch that.
I would too. I would liken this read very, very closely to The Killing Joke in terms of theme and setting and how it can stand alone.
I mean, it was intended to be a metaphysical sequel, unless I'm mistaken.
There is something like it being some sort of maybe sequel. There's also something about it being an answer to Jeff Johns' 2016 run, I believe, on Batman.
On Justice League.
Justice League, okay.
Yes.
And
Chair.
both of those are undermined by it being a Black Label book. So literally it's how the people take it that will change how it's recorded in history.
Yeah. And Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok have continued to echo that on both ends. They keep flip-flopping. They're like, hey, if it is, then it is. We intended it to be, but like it could not be. And there is no straight answer.
So because you said chair, that is the thing that I had zero idea about going into this story. I did not know anything about a Mobius chair.
Batman sit on chair. Chair go,
Burr.
there are... chair go,
Yeah.
burr, there are 3 Jokers. And Batman goes, what the And then we find out like 5 years later, we finally get this book.
Oh, yeah, I
But
remember about
The
that.
chair didn't say 3 Jokers?
No, not exactly.
I know.
He was just like, who is the
I-
Joker? And he went, what? Oh, no.
Yeah, he asked the
Yeah.
chair. Well, I can't even tell you the question because that's a spoiler when you
I
find
know.
out later.
I know. I did this research.
Boy did his research.
So,
It's for research purposes.
is that the 100 gigabyte homework folder? I enjoyed it. A lot of people all over the place were upset with it and what it did. I like it as a standalone book, just like Killing Joke, or even as a squeakle to Killing Joke. Ooh, I should have said a squeal to the Killing Joke. No, that doesn't flow as well.
Oof.
It has some plot issues that you have to consider, but so does Killing Joke. Like, it's deep. Is it flawed? I don't know. It's deep. I
In your
enjoy it.
ass.
I mean, Barbara Gordon's got some plots. Just saying.
Oh.
Barbara Gordon's pretty deep too.
Oh! Nightwing has entered the chat. All right.
Colin, what else did you do this week?
So today I was watching Batman v Superman, of course.
So you were cramming.
I was coming.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, what can I say? It's an absolute masterpiece. Just rewatching it, I forget how well Zach pulls you into the beginning of his movies. You know, like Man of Steel, Justice League, Batman v Superman. Just the dream sequence and all the way through. It's just I can't not just stand there or sit there. I was standing there because I was cleaning my room because I just put it on, but I found myself just standing there with my shirt off, rubbing my nipples, you know, as one would do. I have a hard time talking about things, but
Were you using lotion because your nipples
Yes.
will chafe after a while?
yes, they do chafe after a while. I did use lotion. But speaking of needing to use lotion, Batman, This is still by far one of my favorite Batman interpretations for live action. I just love beefy Batman, and the first scene of Batman just crawling on the walls and just be like, ooh, like mom just comes into the room while you're watching porn. It's just ever since I saw that, I thought to myself, Batman, or just we need a horror Batman. Batman deserves to be a horror character, or like soft horror thriller, yes. Hardcore. And I want that so bad because I would love it would be just cool to have like a Batman like movie where there's a lot of your like what you see is like how criminals see Batman whenever like he encounters criminals.
Yeah, I think that was some of the more interesting parts of Batman Begins, at least visually for me. I mean, that is where the majority of Batman comics lie to an extent. When they're at their best, they are usually in the horror area.
Yeah, but like for live action, I haven't really seen much of the horror. Like Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy was more of a like kind of wanting to be grounded more or less into a real life scenario, especially with being so close to 9/11.
Yeah.
But this also kind of has a connection to that type of feeling with the intro being Bruce Wayne saving people, or just like not saving people, but for trying to help people in the rubble of Wayne Enterprise. I loved seeing that. Just Bruce Wayne is just always Batman, no matter what setting he's in. I just want to talk about Batman for this. Like Superman parts, yeah, they're amazing. I love Superman. I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but just Batman was done so good. It was just done so well, and how he talks with Alfred, the lines, the personal and philosophical ways that they're speaking to each other, just how a man can grow so bitter and bitter and just changes because he's feels like he's cornered. He feels like he has no control over the things around him.
I personally believe this handled the Batman voice in one of the best ways. Out of all the iterations, this is one of the best Batman voices.
Yeah, because it's just electronic. It's not like it's not just like
exactly.
some stupid like nut crushing noise, you know? It's not just some ball bouncer. It's not just some like gullet phlegm, you know?
Right. It like, especially being a metalhead, every time I watch the Christopher Nolan series, it's like, I don't think he understands how to growl.
Oh,
like,
no.
He's just hurting his voice here.
They had to like delay shooting by the time they got to the Dark Knight Rises for a few days on multiple occasions because he f***ed up his voice so much.
Right. So, ugh, gross.
Yeah. It's just now thinking about it, like, ugh.
I second everything Colin's been saying, but I'm not gonna do what I usually do. We're not gonna do that.
I'm okay if you like throw some little daggers at me about the movie, but I was obsessed with this growing up, you know, or not growing up, but obsessed when I saw the trailer. I swear I saw every single trailer, TV spots, like at least 10 times. I was trying to work on my own Lego bat cave.
I think every time we talk about this movie, you bring up the Legos, which is fair.
Yep.
I still want to get the official Lego Batwing for BVS because I have the Batmobile. You know,
it's $160 right now.
I will find it for cheaper.
I know we don't. This isn't a competition. I'm saying
it's a competition for me. Okay.
Why is it? Because it's the only area in life you can win right now.
Yes.
Whew. Also, Dime Comic Bros. But anyway, Spencer, what else did you do this week?
Thank God you took that away from me.
I watched Young Justice Season 2, which came out in 2012. So I talked about Season 1 last week. There is a 5-year time jump between Season 1 and 2, which is really jarring at first. It does a lot of, ooh, twist, ooh, that's not what you were expecting. Ooh, you weren't expecting that, were you? Ooh, it just keeps going and going for the first like 3 episodes. But I think by the end of the season, it does all pay off, and I can definitely understand the desire for a time jump, because where this show ends up going is it feels kind of like Justice League Unlimited a little, in the sense of the roster of heroes is very large by the time, like by the end of season 2, it is just like the episodes could be based on kind of anybody, any random set of people. If they want to, they'll make it about them, which was what Justice League Unlimited did. Was we'll have just we'll take those three over there in the corner.
Yeah, they just introduced like characters you
So
probably
many
haven't heard
people,
of.
and I think that's a really interesting way to do it. The new cast of characters for season 2, I thought were done fairly well. Some of them are a bit underdeveloped, like
Lagoon Boy.
Okay, Lagoon Boy's pretty funny.
I liked him a lot.
Even though he's kind of a dick, but he's like he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
he's such a nice guy, and it's like, oh gosh, dude, like I feel you, but you're such a cringy incel. Please shut up. But it does stumble a bit in the beginning, but I do think it does pay off very well. The final twist is really good. I do love these fair few of the interpretations of these characters. The voice cast is excellent. The animation is awesome. Rip Wally West. Yeah, so that's that. I enjoy it about as much as season 1. The highs are higher, but the lows are definitely lower.
So speaking of roster, I would like to take a minute to talk about our roster. Thank you very much, Business Casual and Jeff Lawrence, for being patrons. Spencer, you were done, right?
Yes.
I didn't want to cut it short. We appreciate each and all of our patrons. If you are interested in becoming a patron yourself and joining our roster, you can check us out at patreon.com/dimecomicbros. Also, in our roster, kind of like a moving from the personnel over to the garage, we have this fancy little vehicle that we call home. It's basically like an RV or a mobile home, because all three of us live there pretty much. Jetpack Comics in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire, right on Main Street. You can find them pretty easily. They are the only business in the local area that has a name starting with Jetpack. Trust me, I've searched.
I know there isn't a Jetpack store near here. I did try.
Yeah, I did too. We so appreciate all the support that we are getting from our patrons and our partners at Jetpack Comics. They have a huge selection of comics, comic books, graphic novels, manga, board games, card games, you name it, they probably got it. So please check them out and support them a little bit with your recent stimmy.
Bunch of chads. Yes, you can also follow us and Jetpack on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There's memes sometimes. There's some behind the scenes images. There's teasers of upcoming episodes. All sorts of fun stuff.
Maybe some sketches.
On occasion, we get some peeks at what Colin's been doing. Not dick pics, we swear.
That's for the
Patreon, obviously.
Also, there is a cut rant from last week's episode. I haven't edited it yet, but it is being uploaded to Patreon.
Wow. Nice. We like that.
Yep. So we were speaking of Wonder Woman's Lasso of Truth a couple of times earlier. There is another DC Comics femoid who happens to carry around a long ropey thing.
Speaking of DC mommies,
we are going to be talking about Catwoman When in Rome, which is a short mini-series written by Jeff Loeb and illustrated by Tim Sale.
It is the last of the series, as far as I know.
Yes, sir, it is. We are going to be talking about that next week. So stay tuned. We're going to try really hard, and we're going to carry around baseball bats and bonk each other the whole time.
Bonk. I'm going to need more of those than usual, probably. Yeah.
That's because you're into whips, though.
You know what? You wouldn't be wrong.
Also, you seem to have a mummy thing.
Yeah.
No, he does. Can confirm he does.
Definitely. I had Big Sister growing up.
You probably read a lot of Sigmund Freud growing up. And that's why you're into mommy.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know Freud?
Sounds really familiar.
He
It's like
he-
one of the first philosophers you would read if you study philosophy at all.
not really philosophy, but psychology.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I kind of bounced everywhere. I didn't really have set books or whatever.
I bounce.
I know you bounce with that fat ass of yours and that washer, but like I just bounce between things, just
Colin.
to read. Yeah.
He's very popular for the idea that all kids want to f their parents.
One of the many ideas he's famous for. I would definitely not say that's the top one.
I
but that
didn't
is
say it
one
was
of
the
them.
top. I said it's something
of
he's
them.
very famous for.
Colin would remember that.
I would remember that if I've read that. No, I believe he's in the right territory where all humans just want to whatever's living.
Well, yes.
You're just fucking horny. Everyone's fucking horny.
Yes.
Females are probably more horny, but that's
Sounds
an
good, yes.
argument for another day.
We will have that discussion one day when we're all married, which will never happen because we're going to be doing this podcast until we die, and it scares off the femoids.
I mean, you and I are
Femoids or
stuck.
fembots?
I feel like you have a femoid and I have a fembot.
What's
Oof.
the difference?
I feel like a
Because
fembot is
both
closer
of those
to
are like
the hive
hardcore
mind.
incel terms. And that's why I'm using them, because it's like it ties in. I don't know the
Well, how
difference.
close is your femoid to the female hive mind?
Not very.
Exactly.
That's fair.
Mine's
Yours
closer.
is a lot,
Mine
yeah.
is closer to the hive mind.
Yours will become a Hun bot in 20 years, and she's going to start selling Mary Kay.
I have created a monster with this conversation.
Did everybody actually watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I watched
Yes.
it today.
Okay, cool. Want to make sure that we're good on that. Before we go, hey, let's talk about it, and then we go,
However, did not watch Wonder Woman, but that one's pretty easy to remember.
I've watched it so many times, I didn't need to watch it.
bonk.
Yes, bonk me.
I'm not boinking you. I bonk you. There's a difference.
I know. I said bonk.
Mhm.
Use your ear holes, my guy.
I'm sure you.
I
wanna
needed a
use my
good
ear
couple.
holes.
You and I definitely needed a good couple bonks during the Zack Snyder cut. Not because Zack Snyder.
Dude, you were moaning and groaning and jumping
Okay, yeah,
up and
mine
down.
was really bad. I've never been
See,
that
that
bad
was-
about movies.
See, that was the thing, that was me on the first two watch throughs,
Of course.
but I was by myself, so nobody else got to see it, and we need to not talk about this for the next 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to just talk
So
about
we-
like
we-
how we were acting.
That was interesting.
I haven't seen it yet.
Actually, that's understandable. You're probably busy.
Like,
I worked a 14-hour day in the rain when it came
Yeah,
released.
yeah,
So.
that's-
like gasp.
I don't know.
Right.
As long as you're okay with it, Daddy.
Exactly.
Just don't call me daddy. That's gross.
Hey, Poppy.
Step bro.
What's up, stepmom? Ooh, are you my stepmommy? Don't get stuck in a dryer. There's only going to be one way I'm going to help you with that. Grabbing that fat ass. Yes.
I just said I'm jealous.
All right. I couldn't hear you.
I am the resident
Colin,
degenerate.
read
You're just
over
a
you.
weirdo.
What do you mean? I'm a degenerate.
You're a weeb degenerate.
No. Don't you f***ing dare categorize me into that weeb degeneracy, okay? Okay, I am...
Who took photos with succubus?
How about you shut the f*** up before I shove my finger up your asshole? And I know you'll like it. But listen here.
You're the
Don't
one
you
who's-
shut your hole, all right, bud? I may be a degenerate, but I am no weed degenerate. I am surface level. I see, that's a funny succubus booby lady, and take a picture for the boys, but nothing else. Nothing else.
I have another article from DCComics.com. Quote
Nope,
Justin.
nope.
What?
We're taking turns on the news, remember?
Oh,
Shit, bitch.
I
Alright.
forgooted.
I'll take it because it's a small one.
You can only take a small one.
Shut up. I thought you were saying I was an 8, but you're saying you're an 8. Ah, piss man.
I just can't think today.
That's
I even-
okay. Do I ever think? No. No, I don't.
I am the piss monster.
Bruh, that's
Give me your
gross.
piss.
Ew.
Piss for gold. Piss for gold.
You're disgusting. You are a degenerate.
Yeah, that's right,
Right.
Daddy.
All right, now it's my turn to take a second.
Guys into piss, man.
What can I say? I'm the piss monster.
You have problems.
You are dust.
That was the quickest piss.
That was a quick ass piss, bud.
That wasn't a piss. I was running to the fridge to get a ginger ale.
Oh,
Nice.
a bold boy, a spicy man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need to sneeze real quick.
Do the sneeze.
Do it so hard.
Stop. It's gone. Fuck you.
Boom! I win.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with your gay ass shit. I wanted to sneeze. I wanted my little nose orgy, okay? I wanted some of that cummies to come out of my nose, all right?
Why do you have cummies up your nose?
Well,
That
they're
means
hard.
you were giving a BJ and then you sneezed
Why would you know this?
because that's how
Experience?
nose works.
Because one thing that the trilogy has done very well is that the movies play into each other very well. But I was confused by
Colin,
what?
you need to repeat that because whatever Spencer just did to the microphone completely ruined it.
You.